Well, hello. This is Susan for SLC Aquatics coming to you live this Thursday with hashtag FishFamMom and guest. I want everyone to know that my very special guest today is none other than Lefty3213A. And at this time, I'd like to bring him to the platform. Hello, Lefty.
Hello.
How are you doing, sweetheart?
I am doing good. How are you doing?
Doing good. I got buffering over here on the share screen, so I'm closing it. Oh,
Doing much better now that I got some coffee in me.
Oh, good. I needed some more coffee myself. I want to say hi to a few of them that's in the chat. We've got Ed's Picknupcichlids, Mystery Snail Guardians, and Muppet 929 just came in. Hey, guys, and welcome to the live stream. Today is going to be no script, but if you have questions for my guest, I want you to feel free to shoot them at him, and I'm going to put them up on the screen, and we're going to talk about fish or whatever else comes up. So if you have any questions, y'all know Lefty from the Lefty and Ed show, and I had to close my other screen, but you know that he's doing a giveaway for his 500 subs. So if you don't know Lefty, as Fish Fam Mom says, show love for love. Go over there and show him some love. Got somebody beeping?
I heard that. What's going on over there?
I have no idea. I'm too close to my window. Oh, Stephen came in too, huh?
They were just saying hello, beeping, going by.
Yeah, my husband's handling it. Mr. SLC Aquatics got it. So Stephen came in too there, Lefty, and he was your guest, was it yesterday?
He is my buddy every Monday night now.
Oh, every Monday night. So That's a new show.
Yeah, we started the week. I started the week before Aquashella, and then he joined me the Monday I was driving home from Aquashella, and we just kind of kept it going ever since.
Wow, I got to go back and check the stream spreadsheet out. Of course, he's got something cute to say. Who is this Lefty guy in all those numbers? I don't want to ask, but is there a reason there's numbers that it's almost like my address?
So it's either 4 or 5 when AOL you paid for AOL every month and you got those free CDs at the grocery store.
Uh-huh.
And I had, I was young, so I was looking around. I'm like, what am I gonna call my username? And my neighbor's cat was next to me. And the cat's name was Lefty because I had one left paw that was all white and the other paws were gray. So I was like, okay, I'll just put in Lefty. And then AOL just auto-generated the numbers. That's where the numbers came from. And then I think I was 8 or 9 or 10 maybe. I forgot the password, and it still had parental locks on it. So I made a new account, and I was like, oh, what's the first letter of the alphabet? We're just going to add an A to the end of it. And it's been my name on every platform ever since.
That's amazing. Oh, I started HTML with AOL Press back in 1998.
Okay.
And so I've been doing web pages since 1998. And when I couldn't get a software platform that generated the HTML for me, then I had to go and just cheat with templates. Oh, do we have any questions? Degenerate Fish Keeper came in. Hey, how we doing?
Hey.
Vanoski's Tanks came in. Hey, Vanoski. No questions yet. Oh yeah, I see one. Ed's got one for you. Lefty, what fish do you keep and how many aquariums?
Oh, I'll do the fish part first because then I gotta count the aquariums. It's bad when you can't remember how many you have.
Well, you saw what I did a while ago.
I know. So let's see. I have a lot of betas. Most of my betas now are from John and Lisa at KT Tropicals. I got a few from Dan's Fish. I don't have any left over from PetSmart because that's where I first picked them up. those have all since passed. So I got a lot of betta fish. I got multiple kinds of rasboras. I've got emerald eye rasboras, blue neon rasboras, scissortail rasboras, chili rasboras, harlequin rasboras. I got a tank that is 4 different types of wild bettas with some rasboras and tetras that I turned into a kind of wild betta community tank. I've got a 10-gallon that's got a honey gourami, a betta fish, 2 types of danios, some cory cats, and there were shrimp in it at one point. Haven't seen a shrimp in 6 months, but with how shrimp are, they could be hiding anywhere.
Yep.
I got a betta fish tank that's got some dwarf emerald rasboras in it. I've got CPDs, pygmy cories with like a mono shrimp. I've got an African cichlid tank with yellow labs, manganos, and rusties. I have a neocaridina shrimp tank with yellows. My community tank's got bloodfin tetras, serpe tetras, neon tetras, cardinal tetras, 2-spot catfish, an algae eater, cory cats, 2 different kinds, salt and pepper, and then the ones I can't remember right now. And it's got a bunch of the rasboras in it. Then I have guppies, I have pseudomogils, and I have an empty 5-gallon that I'm thinking about doing something with, but I'm not sure yet. As for the number of tanks, let's see, 1, 2. 20, 21, something like that.
I don't feel so bad now because I was doing that earlier. I love it. I wanted to know, since you answered the question, Stephen, he says, what are all their names, Lefty?
I have not named a fish in about 20 years.
Yep, thank you. I'll just say pretty boy, ugly boy. Oh,
and snails. Yes, I have a lot of snails.
Mystery snails or different kinds, nerite snails, ramshorn.
I have nerites in community tank, and then I have ramshorns in pretty much every tank, including the African cichlid tank, because I love them. I love the ramshorns. I know people call them a pest snail, but to me they're just
I love
the cleaning ecosystem.
I've had the black-footed ram's horns that usually have the bluish shell, and I've had the pink ones that have a pink shell and the pink foot. Matter of fact, when I first started keeping live plants, that's when the snails came in.
Yep.
And I thought, oh, pest snails. And then I thought, they're not pests. They're pretty and fascinating. I wanted to know, Lefty, since you brought up that most of your bettas come from KG Tropicals now, did you want to mention the project that you are helping them out with? Like adoption?
Oh, yes. So I was like, project, did I sign up for something to forget?
I'm leading you here.
So when Lisa has betta fish that are sickly or they've got some genetic or defect with them, she'll put them up for adoption. And since we're both going to the Keystone Clash this weekend, I got a message from her last week, and she's like, do you have any tanks that you could take some bettas that are, fin nippers or have tumors? And I was like, yeah, how many do you want to give me? She's like, how many can you take? So I said, I can take 6 at the most. And she's like, okay. So when we're both at the class, I will be adopting 6 of her bettas. She's already informed me 1 has a tumor. So basically, I'm going to have like a hospice care for betta fish in my house now, and just take care of them as long as they are left here on Earth, and just spoil the junk out of them.
That's wonderful. And they're going to enjoy their beautiful planted aquariums. And that's, are you going to be able to film them?
I will do some kind of video with them. Yeah, I'll probably, once they're all in their tanks, I'll do a little spotlight on all of them. Talk about how I'm going to take care of them, like what the maintenance would be for specifically those kinds. Like, so she said most of them are fin nippers, so I got to double check on, I know clean water and all that stuff. So probably do a video on how to take care of fin nippers and
give them things to play with, like a log and mirrors. And I remember watching a video many years ago this person built, and I don't expect you to do this, but he built a 3-level beta pond. And he made each layer just high enough to give them the exercise for jumping upstream or downstream. And I'll have to look that video up, see if I can find it, because it was so laid out. You know how we do our little villages with the train tracks?
Mm-hmm.
He had different levels of ponds, and that the bottom section was the largest water container, but it was shallow. You know, all of those were shallow little pools. I want to say, I'll put up what Amber said. She says, it's shame there's so many unhealthy bettas produced from importing. Yeah, some of that comes from importing. Well, it does with KG Tropicals, because I don't think she gets them local.
I know she's been able to go and handpick them sometimes, so I'm not sure if they all come from that facility or if some come from different facilities.
Right. And you know, Amber's, have you ever seen Amber's quality of bettas?
I have, yes.
Oh my goodness. They're like, I don't know. It's like, to me, they're too I wouldn't buy one from her because I can't promise that it will get the best care, because I get busy and I'm just now catching up in my fish room again. Yep, happens with so many popular fish species, all about churning out the numbers. Yeah, and that happens in this hobby. And really any hobby that produces anything that's alive, the quality diminishes and the care diminishes because of the greed of the almighty dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody that's just now coming in that didn't hear my earlier announcement, we have no script for today. So if you have a question for Lefty, some of you already follow him and Steven, him and Ed. And I've really enjoyed your road trip to Aquashella.
Thank you.
Until I saw you slam on your brakes and your front end dove forward. Then I had to listen and not watch.
Try to remember what part of it that was during.
You were 4 hours in and someone just stopped suddenly behind an 18-wheeler.
Oh yes, now I remember. Yeah. Fun times on the interstate.
But you know, as we discussed, you'll be leaving tomorrow, right?
I will. I'm leaving tomorrow at 1:00 to head down to Keystone Clash in Pennsylvania.
Oh, to the Keystone Clash and what is it? Philly?
I think it's Morgantown.
Morgantown, you're right. And I don't have that pulled up to share. Let's see. Amber and Jeremy are talking. If you line breed for health, you rarely have to cull bettas, and the farms don't selectively breed. It's all a profit margin. Yep. Let me see what Steven is saying.
Oh, he was worried about me driving home and reading chat. There were a few people that were concerned with me driving and reading chat, but like my phone's on my dashboard, so I'll be driving and it's over here, so I can still see the road while chat is being pulled up.
That looks like a pretty good size phone too.
Yeah, it's not too small. It's about the size of my calculator.
Oh, okay. Because mine, okay, it does look bigger on screen. This is the iPhone 11.
This is a Samsung 8, I think, Galaxy 8.
Galaxy 8.
But yeah, I use it as a GPS, so it's up anyway. So I glance at the GPS. So to me, it was no different than just glancing at chat, glancing at GPS. What's the difference?
That's true. The fish community is more interesting than GPS, though.
This is true.
Go ahead.
I waited. So when I'm driving, I'll wait to like put on music or anything until I'm through like the majority of like the interconnecting roads and all the turns and whatnot. Because at one point, I'm on the same road in Pennsylvania for 900 miles, going the whole way. Then I'm like, okay, it's safe for me to turn on the stream and everything, because I don't have to worry about missing a road.
Steven's not going to leave you alone today. Why do you have a calculator that close to you? I don't think I have a calculator in this house.
This calculator is from high school. I've had this since 2006. And I think the only reason it still works is because it's solar powered and battery powered.
Looky here.
Ah, yes. Good old Canon calculator, right?
Oh, yeah. And it still works.
We have an old Mickey Mouse calculator from we never went to Disney World. I don't know where it came from, but my aunt and I each have a Mickey Mouse calculator from like the 90s.
It must be something YouTube's doing different, or something I clicked on my account, because on YouTube it lets me know how long someone's been a member.
I know somebody mentioned that YouTube is trying to improve streaming. So I think they're trying to take some elements that has been on Twitch for years. Like on Twitch, if you subscribe to someone, it'll show how long you've been subscribed. So I'm thinking YouTube is now integrating that as a more interactive membership thing. Because normally, once you're a member, if it re-ups, you don't get a note. It doesn't show up in chat. So I'm wondering if they're adding that as a new feature for
I know the email that I got, that they said that they're going to be promoting memberships more.
Okay.
And the discussion tab on the channels that are under 1,000, they're considering when you hit 500, they'll do away with the discussion tab and you get the community tab. So
that would be nice.
Have you seen that on your computer channel yet?
So my YouTube is through Gmail. I don't really ever check my Gmail, so I'll have to go back and check. But I don't think I've gotten anything yet from that. I got an email from YouTube about taking the channel to the next level, so I don't know if it's in there or not. But I'll have to look at it.
I want to say hi to Danican Aquatics. He's been a member for 13 months. Woohoo! Thank you to Kenny E. And of course, Ed asked you the question, are you breeding anything?
Oh, so at the moment, my breeding is limited to ram's horn snails because those are, add water and they breed.
I was going to say, if they're doing it on their own, they're handling it pretty good.
And then 2 lines of guppies. So I have a blue purple mosaic guppy. So the tail fin is all blue with the mosaic pattern, and then the dorsal area is a nice purple. And then I also have a line of like orange tiger-ish kind of guppies that I'm breeding out. And at some point, I really want to try breeding betas at some point, but I know I need to have enough space to house all the fish once I have to separate them. So that's on the back burner.
And you have time for water changes.
Yeah.
Those that are just coming in, I wanted to repeat that we don't have a script today. So if you have a question for Lefty, ask away.
Please do.
Stephen is greeting everyone. Thank you, Stephen, for your help. And Mystery Snail says she used the standard calculator on her phone. Ha, ha, ha.
I don't know. If it's here, I like to just grab this instead of the phone.
I do too.
Because then I can just turn it on, get working instead of, unlocking the phone, scrolling for the calculator.
How many betas do you generally get in a spawn?
I've heard upwards of 300.
Amber, are you still in the house?
Yes, Amber, please help us because I don't know the answer to that question.
I know you can get hundreds. Oh, I have 20 peppered corridor eggs that I pulled on Saturday.
Ooh.
And put them in a drop of what is that blue stuff? Methylene blue. And they're like little slivers of hair. But I haven't pulled any eggs in a while. I usually let them consume them. So Amber is saying spawns may vary breeder to breeder. The average for me is 150 to 200 fry, but the largest spawn I've ever had was about 600.
Wow. Well, depending on what you get for ratio, Steven, because I'm pretty sure the girls can stay in the tanks longer, but
Uh-huh.
usually I've heard, Amber could correct me if I'm wrong, that 6 months is usually when you start pulling your males, if not sooner, if they're being aggressive towards the other
Right.
fish.
Yeah, she says when she starts seeing aggression, she starts
Yeah.
sexing them and pulling them.
So if you have 100 males and 50 females, Steven, you'll need 100 boxes for the males.
Oh, a good question is, does temperature affect the sex of the spawns? That's another good one.
I know it does with guppies, but I'm not sure
Really?
about. Yeah, I've noticed with my guppies, if I have the temperature up higher, I get more males than females. So if I have it like it's 76 to 80, I'll get 80% males. But if I have it down at 72, 74, I get about 60% male, 40% female.
Yeah, I think that's what's going with me. It's between 74 and 76. I'm male heavy. So I might need to raise that temperature just a little bit. Let's see.
Okay, Amber says 3 to 4 months. Okay.
Oh, I'm behind.
Um,
Emma?
no, mine
Yep.
came after.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Males usually. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And she
Let me
said
see.
higher heat gives more females in betas. So that's cool.
Okay. Thank you. I'll put that on the screen too. It does. Higher heat gives more females. What's Ed say? I pulled 70 green koi eggs 2 days ago. They hatched this morning, and there are another 50 on the glass tonight. Woo!
Oh, congrats.
Yes, definitely congrats.
Because that's also on my list to try and breed at some point. I have never done egg layers before. I've only done live bearers, so I want to try
Yeah.
an egg layer.
7 years ago, when I started back with guppies, I bought 3 pregnant females because I just wanted to see what I got,
Mm-hmm.
knowing I was going to get a bunch of variety. About a month later, I was shopping for another 20 high, and Rod was buying plastic tubs at Walmart for me. And I was learning to sex them at like 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I was getting pretty good, only missing a male here and there. But as I've gotten older, they're just going to have to show up.
Yeah, I think I wasn't good at sexing until like maybe 4 or 5 months.
Well, now that 4 or 5 months with IFGA breeders they're sold as juveniles almost fully formed, except for the length and the spread of their caudal fins sometimes.
Oh.
Hi, CJ. How you doing? I was been watching Steven and just noticed y'all were on. Okay, we'll excuse you. Oh, don't binge watch me. What is too far back? The material gets cringy.
I mean, cringy is always good for us, not so much you.
Jeremy says egg layers are lots of fun until you end up with all these tubs hatching. I don't have a problem with egg layers because the first egg layer I had was the peppered Corydora, and the next thing you know, I describe it as there was a little dinosaur in the substrate. I'm like, where'd that come from? And I realized it was a baby Corydora, and so I didn't harvest my eggs. I always just let nature have its way. So about every 3 months, I'd see a new baby. Amber says, gender in bettas is also an interesting thing. Females can change to males if they're 18 months or younger and have never spawned. Breeding that fish will produce all males in future spawns. That's so interesting.
That is extremely interesting.
Oh my goodness. Angel Fish Keepers here. Hey, that is a very interesting fact. I didn't even know that. I've tested this theory a few times when I had girls switch all male spawns.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Darlene's here. Hey Darlene, how are you doing? I know a bunch of people come in and I've been rude. I'm sorry. I don't do well in chat when I'm talking with my guests. I'm trying to watch the questions and I miss them sometimes. Melvin Reith is in the house. Hey, Melvin. Just got done doing his PDC show. Yes, I got notifications, sweetheart. Wasn't able to watch it live, but I will go back and watch the replay. What is Steven saying? If I don't harvest eggs, I'd never have fry. Community tanks with rainbows makes it impossible for eggs to last more than a day. Yes, because don't they scatter their eggs? I've had over 30 angelfish spawns, and I was only successful to raise about 7 or 8 because I always wanted them to parent raise. They'd get to be free swimming. You'd see them gathering around the mom, gathering around the dad, and then the very next morning I didn't have a baby left.
Oh.
And I think it was due, I think it was due to her and the male spatting so much. He'd get tired of guarding, and she'd accuse him of eating them. So then she'd go beat him up, and then she'd eat the rest of them, and then he'd beat her up for eating them.
Oh.
It was quite a love, an abusive love pair there. Rainbows just eat everything, including my most delicate, expensive plants. I'm sorry. That's not funny. I paid $25 for a a hardy lily, right? Yeah, from my pond. Then I found out that goldfish eat lilies.
Oh.
So since then, they only get duckweed.
Which I've never successfully grown.
Oh.
Anytime I've tried, I actually bought it to try it, and I've killed it every time.
How's your water movement in your tanks?
If I know I'm going to have floaters, it's at minimum. If not, I usually keep it about medium.
Do you do a lot of water changes?
I have not water changed most of my tanks in well over a year. I just hop off because I have so many plants that the nitrates just stay at a constant level and I don't have to worry about them going too crazy.
Okay. Yeah, in my fish room, I think there's a trace of nitrates in my tap water. And I haven't tested it recently. Congratulations, Amber. I'm so happy for you setting up her spawn tanks in her office. She's going to try to be my special guest soon so that she can wrap up and catch everybody up with how her trip from Vermont to Jacksonville went. And what were we talking about?
Nitrates in your tap water.
Okay. So I get plenty of duckweed, and even with a hang-on back filter. But the corner that doesn't get the most flow is the heaviest duckweed. Also, the water wisteria that I planted probably close to a year now has just gone bonkers in my deep substrate aquariums to where I'm pinching it off. My 29's now full of water wisteria growing out the top of the tank. My new 20 long that I set up is now full of water wisteria. And so far the duckweed hadn't spread there too bad.
Okay.
And let's see.
But yeah, I went on Amazon at one point and got a thing of like the floating plant package. It was like 4 kinds. It came with water salvia, water spangles, red root floaters, and dwarf water lettuce. And for $20, it worked out pretty well because I've still got them all growing.
Okay, that's good. And you got that off of Amazon? Okay. Steven says wisteria is his favorite water weed. Yep. Hey, if you need a tank to fill up fast with plants for territorial issues that you might be having in cichlids or in you know, who else gets territorial? Mostly cichlids. And you said you've got some yellow labs. I've got to go back. Do you have some video on them?
So I did a live stream with my African cichlid tank. I haven't done an actual video on it yet because I'm thinking I'm going to have a lot of people yelling at me about that tank because it's the probably bare minimum of minimums that you should ever try African cichlids in that are these because it's only a 30-gallon tank.
Hey, sometimes we have to break the rules because they're thriving. They're not dying.
Yeah.
They're not shrinking. They're thriving.
And live plants are in the tank.
Yes, really.
Mm-hmm.
With yellow labs.
Yellow labs, manganos, and rusties, and they don't eat them unless I don't feed them.
Okay.
They'll go for the water spangles on top before any of the stem plants or nubiuses.
Amber says, pick a day, Susan, and I'm in. Finally have internet here. Yay. Woo-hoo. Well, guess what? We don't have a confirmation for next Thursday night. So next Thursday, Amber, put your boots on and let's go.
I did send him a message, but I haven't heard back yet.
It's going to be hard because if he's on call with his parents,
yeah,
he and I are going to have to pick another day. But while everybody's watching us, October the 7th, Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern, Stephen P. 2003 will be my special guest. And I will draw up a thumbnail. And so, Stephen, shoot me some crazy pictures in Messenger, okay? I didn't get Lefty to do that. So I picked him looking down at his keyboard or something. I don't know what he was looking at. Oh, she's putting it on her calendar. Yay. But right now we have Lefty as my special guest. And I am so honored that you're my guest because to me, when guys start doing these collab shows and they're so successful, and I feel like the noob and you feel like the pro. So I told you started, you did a really quick tutorial on Nightbot one stream, and I still got to go back and watch it and stop it and watch it and stop it. I think that's what messed me up last Tuesday night. I was trying to do my Streamlabs OBS, activate my chat and everything, and my stream keys got all messed up. So what is going on with Patty? I missed it. Steven's saying something. Patty, don't buy water wisteria. Just be brave enough to give me your address.
Oh, she might have talked about buying some at the Clash.
Uh-huh. Petroman's in the house. Hello, Petroman. How are you doing? Petro. Love the water wisteria. Grows great in all my tanks. Oh. So what is your favorite plant that's going really good in your aquariums?
I really like the Anubias Nana Petite. It's expensive, but once it grows in, it looks really cool.
I like that too because when you arrange it just right, it gets kind of like a hedge, you know, and I don't know. They're hardy plants.
They are.
I don't know what you call them. I was told it's called the mother plant. But I have the giant Anubias leaf that my son-in-law gave me in a Fluval 7 aquarium on a piece of driftwood. I have housed every aquarium I've ever had, 16 aquariums with Anubias from that mother plant.
Wow.
And it's, like I said, a little 7-gallon that had a betta in it. Now it's got two snowball shrimp in it that haven't died. They're still living. I used to have more, but I don't know what's up.
Yeah, I like my floating plants. I like the red root floaters too. The dwarf water lettuce is a good one, though I found that one really needs no flow, and once it's established, then you can slowly crank it up a little bit.
Hi, Lee. And Paul McCarty. Hey, McCarthy. Liberty Bell Cichlids is here. Nathan Fishboy's here. Favorite
Hey,
plant of
Fishboy.
mine is the blue stricta. Now, what is that? Is that a crypt?
Oh, well, crypts don't like me.
Come on, Nathan. Tell us what that is. We're common name people, so let me know what that is. Steven says he's floating some Anubias Nana Petite and is growing leaves from every side of the rhizome into a ball. Yes, it will. I forgot about that. You'll have to trim them off just to get your roots going. Melvin says, what's the name of the blue and black cichlids in your African cichlid tank?
Those are the manganos.
The what?
Manganos, I think is how they're pronounced.
Manganos?
I think that's how it's pronounced.
Okay. If you want to share anything, just share it, and we'll see if my computer works. I'm on Wi-Fi.
I put the name of it in the chat, so it's not me trying to pronounce it. But yeah, I think it's called mangano.
Mangano cichlid. Okay. Y'all look it up.
I would pull it up if I knew what part of the video they were in.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't... When I was doing the African cichlid tank, I went back and forth with John and Lisa. I emailed the guys at Live Fish Direct because they say they'll do consultations. And I was like, here is the size tank that I can accommodate. And they were like, I was like, what can I put in here if it's even possible? And I was told the smaller Mbuna can go in the tank. And they were like, you could do 12 to 15. So I was like, okay. And I spent probably 10 hours on Live Fish Direct's website looking at every single fish, plugging it into Google, saying, what size does this fish get? And then reading like 6 or 7 articles on each fish to look for a size. And then using my calculator, Stephen, to find the average size of what these people were saying the fish gets to. Because I knew I wanted stuff that stayed under 5 inches or maxed out at 5 inches. So that's how I settled on the Rusties, the Yellow Labs, and the Manganos.
That's crazy. I need cichlids that I can put in a smaller tank also.
The Shelleys take a smaller tank, right?
Yep. I'm pleased to finally have them. I was always hesitant because I had that Eco Complete in there, and I said, oh man, they're just going to mess that tank up. But I've seen so many videos lately of different setups for Shelleys, even without shells.
Mm-hmm.
You know, using PVC, using the pleco caves, you know, using the apartments that I use my pleco caves like apartments, you know, 3 on the bottom, 2 on top, one on the very top, like a triangle. And I've used PVCs with Java moss glued onto it. And so as long as you give them a break from one another territorial wise, you won't have too much fighting going on.
Cool. Yeah, I got most of my stuff from PetSmart tanks and whatnot, and they sell cichlid caves, which is, it looks like a big egg, and they sell them in singles or in trios where they're stacked. So I got a bunch of those when I was doing beta houses or just beta tanks with a bunch of fish. So I was like, you know what? I threw one in the African cichlid tanks. I had an extra one, and the biggest fish of them all fits inside this little thing that's maybe that big.
I know it. How do they do it?
There must be more room inside than you think.
Yeah. When I picked those shells up today and there was no fish in the bag, and I'm like, where's the fish? And Billy says, oh, they go inside the shell. I'm like, you mean I picked up fish inside these shells and didn't know it? Nathan says he thinks it's a crypt. And I had an idea it was a crypt also. And from research, it's rare. Let's see. From research, it's rare of it flowering. So I'm trying to get it to flower. Usually with age. A plant, the longer the plant grows as undisturbed in your substrate, helps it mature. Just like plants outside, you know, you may not get flowers the first, year that you plant hydrangeas or something, unless you buy them with flowers on it. Mine usually don't flower the next year. They'll flower the year after that, and fruit trees as well. Right now, my Amazon sword has gone absolutely ballistic in my 55. It's taken up the whole corner, and it has had 8 shoots come off of it, and it's reproducing more swords, and it's flowered 3 times.
Wow.
And this is the second year I've had it. And it started at, I would say, about 8 inches in height, and the 55 is 21 inches high, and it's coming out of the tank.
Wow.
It's because that corner doesn't get much circulation, and all of that poop goes over there. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you doing? What's bigger on the inside, CJ? Should I ask?
I'm assuming the African cichlid tank I mentioned.
Okay.
That or the TARDIS, either one.
Melvin says, okay, I had those African cichlids back in 2017. The skyscraper 29-gallon tank. I was told I could do small mabunas, 10 cichlids, but I had only 7 of them, but I was going to get 3 more. And I'm sure things didn't go as planned, did it, Melvin? Oh, who's this? Stephen says he's got a red sword doing the same thing. Oh, my red sword melted, and I don't know why.
I cannot do swords. Mine all melt away to nothing.
I've got this dwarf hairgrass growing now, and it put off little runners that looks like not praying mantis, the granddaddy long-legged spider.
Oh, yep.
Yep. And so I put them all down in one corner of my 20 long. And when they get established and start growing up, then I'm going to start trimming them to see what happens. They'll probably run off across the other front of the tank. What's Nathan saying? Go ahead.
I've done dwarf hair. I got dwarf hairgrass in my community, and I think in one of the beta tanks. I can't remember.
Yeah, I have a friend in Illinois who doesn't really participate online, but he's been a fish keeper for 20, 30, 40 years. And he'll come down from Illinois to visit his sister here in Birmingham, Alabama. And he'll bring me fish. He'll bring me shrimp. He'll bring me plants. And my blue-eyed lemon plecos, he brought those to me last September. So they're a year old now. Yeah. Wow. And cool. the boy's just now starting to get his bristles.
Yeah, I've only been able to keep one pleco. I've tried multiple kinds of plecos. I tried clown plecos. They didn't last long. I had 2 bristlenose that both came in at the same time. They were both, I think, 6 months old. One did not make it. He had his abdomen got like beet red, and the ammonia was negative in the tank, so I don't know if he got injured on something and ended up with an infection or what. So I at one point put him in his own tank because he was still small, maybe like 1.5 inches, 2 inches, figuring maybe he was in his own tank and I just left him alone, he'd be okay. He didn't make it. His brother has been in the 20-gallon next to me for over 1.5 years now, and he's doing fine. He's the only pleco I've been able to keep. So I'm a little weary about trying another pleco.
Well, what kind of substrate did you say you had?
In the tanks that they're in is it's like that river gravel kind of. Yeah.
So
and I've got sand too.
Yeah, he could have gotten just a gut bug. You know, he could have gotten a bacterial infection.
Yeah.
The ones that James brought to me at first, they all died in the bag before I got them out. Oh. But the other contact that he was bringing the other 4 to fell through, so he brought those back to me, and they were a little older. And I said, you might have traveled with these a little too young. You know, they don't travel well when they were about 1/2 inch, so they were very young. But the older ones that he brought to me were right at 1 inch, and every one of them thrived. And I was hoping and praying that I had some breeding pairs in there. So it looks like I may have two males. One of them's really showing more dominance than the other one.
Mhm.
But now they're all at the age where when they see me in front of the tank, they're all like, run away, run away. The big blob is in front of the glass again. And I'm like, I feed you. Uh-oh. I can't answer Patty's questions. Can you answer hers?
Oh, it's a TV show called Doctor Who.
Oh,
He flies around in a phone booth that's a TARDIS, and it's gigantic on the inside.
okay. I'm out of the loop. Steven says I raised 150 bristlenose plecos in a 29. I can send you some plecos, Lefty. Mine are super hardy and used to being in filthy water.
Are you saying my water's filthy, Steven?
He's admitting his is. Oh, Jay Oliver. Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Any questions that you would have for my guest Lefty today, go ahead and ask away. Ask away. What's CJ say? Her bristlenose pleco beats himself up trying to make a cave in the substrate. I got him a co-op cave, and that seems to have helped. Good. I have a piece of wood that's to the side of their caves, but the caves happen to be in the flow too much. Okay. And I was going to swap where this wood is, and because I noticed yesterday during water changes, there was sand being spit like crazy. I'm like, what in the world is spitting all that sand? And it was the male pleco trying to make a cave right quick. Oh. But they'll do what they want, but they don't like a lot of direct flow. They like the water to be moderately moving around them. Okay, Melvin says he didn't do well. It didn't do well. That same year we had to move. I know he had to move, and I lost those cichlids and my 20-gallon long rainbow tank community. I remember that, Melvin, and it was a sad occasion, and I'm still sorry for your losses. Steve, I'm saying my plecos are conditioned for nitrite spikes.
Oh, so now you're saying my tank's getting spikes in nitrate. Okay, so I see how it is.
Oh, Jenny Lynn is in the house. Hey, Jenny Lynn, welcome to the live stream. My guest Lefty is waiting your questions. What's Patty say? I should buy my fish from Steven. Well, that's why my fish are so hardy, because for about a year they were very neglected. I set my tanks up like Father Fish's suggestions for deep substrate. Now he says, don't put sand on top of gravel. And I said, well, you didn't tell me that a year ago. So I've done that on top of gravel. Well, it does cause those pockets, those gas pockets from the bad gases. I forget what they're called. Oh, CJ is where I first had Henry, the yo-yo loach. Henry took the piece of pottery away from the pleco when Henry came back. So far, the pleco has been able to hold on to his cave. Henry's still a bit of a character. Henry always was. I had Henry in the 55, and he wanted companionship so bad. He would swim beside the gouramis, he would swim beside the angelfish, and he would just annoy them till they went and hid in corners. So I took Henry out of a 55. Now listen to this. I took him out of a 55 and put him in a 20 high with a colony of guppies and a colony of peppered corydoras. And he fell in love with the peppered corydoras. And his routine every night before bedtime was to swim up and down the glass with a couple corydoras until he got tired. He would go behind the filter intake and go upside down and fall asleep. Oh. And he would be that way in the morning when the lights came on. So she bought some corridors from me. And so when Henry got there, he was happy as a lark. He had his companions. Stevens tells Patty that she should buy from him because he's overran with female endlers. Huh? I got male endlers. I need more No, I've got juvenile females that are maturing.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything that you want to share with the people today, like maybe your 500 sub giveaway?
I was just going to bring that up since there's
Great.
a lull in the question. So for anyone that doesn't know, I just hit 500 subs on YouTube. Thank you all very much. And as a thank you to all of you, I am doing a food giveaway. It's all Hikari food. There's a grand prize that gets a plethora of food, and then there's some smaller giveaways that go with it. All the details and everything are in this video right here. Boom. There you go. It's in the chat. I just watch it through. It'll get all the details. And it runs until next Friday when I will just live pick all the winners so that it's all prim and proper right up there on the stream. So there's no questions and favoritism shown to anyone in particular.
That's the video, guys. Go watch it. Now, did you say, could you repeat the rules again?
So basically all you got to do is subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on that video. And I will be putting the video into a comment picker website where you put the link for the video in the website and it pulls all the comments together and randomly picks comments. And we'll be doing that a few times because we got a lot of stuff to give away.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me talk about it.
I am unstopping that share so that we don't crash. I'm very excited. And congratulations again on 500.
Thank you.
Because I want to see everyone grow, just like Ed's picking up cichlids. We got him to 78, I think. So I told him we need to get him to 100 and just help the small channel grow. I don't consider you slow. I really don't. I don't consider you a small channel because there for a while, I think you took a little leave of absence, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. Because all of a sudden I'm like, Lefty dropped out. Now Lefty's back and he is booming with these collabs and his uploads. And I'm like, man, he's got it going on. I see Lefty here. I see Lefty there. And I'm glad. I really am. You have a personality that just shines through the screen. And you have a joy about you. And whoever you have is your collab partner, like Ed and Steven. It's educational and it's fun. And my husband said he's going to have to watch you and Ed for the movie thing that you do. I forget what you call it.
Oh, with our wheel?
Yes, your movie wheel. Because he loves trivia like that, and he's very good at it. And if you ever get into music genres, he'll enjoy them too. Yeah, Am I missing any questions?
CJ asked, do people have to be present to win? No, that's the best part. You do not have to be present to win. So what I'll do is once all the people are picked, I'll go in and I'll reply to your comment saying, congrats, you won. And if I don't hear back from you in a few days, I'll have to, pick someone else because, and again, the fish food has to be U.S. only. I'm sorry, anyone that doesn't live in the United States, but, import and export laws, we cannot ship fish food out of the country.
So it's only U.S. How about Alaska and Hawaii? Do you have any problems?
I can ship to Alaska and Hawaii, no problem.
Great. Steven says he just hit 600. Yay. Cough, he said. And Greek boy just can't get away from that Lefty guy these days. Yes, Patty, I'm dangerously close to being the most hated fish tuber. No, you're not. And Melvin says, congratulations on the 500, Lefty.
Thank you.
So we're going to wind this up. And again, I want to thank you, Lefty, for being my very special guest. And like I said, I don't try to butter you up or anything, but it's true that your personality glows through the screen. You're fun and you're educational. And if anybody wants to support anybody, I want you all to go over and show love to Lefty's channel. Don't forget to watch and leave comments. And if you haven't subscribed, show love for love. And just be there and watch his streams when you can. If not, go back and watch the replays. And don't forget, next Thursday at 5 p.m., my very special guest will be Amber of Big City Bettas, and she's going to be doing an update on what the Fish Fam community has helped her so much do from her move from Vermont all the way to Jacksonville, Florida, and what she ran into in Jacksonville, Florida. Bless her heart. But she's a go-getter. And then October the 7th, which is the first Thursday night at 5 p.m. Central, my very special guest will be Stephen P. 2000 and is it 3? Is that his numbers? Where are you, Stephen?
Yes.
2003. But anyway, Lisa KG Tropicals just came in. Hey, Lisa. She was lurking. Hi, Susan. Hi, Lefty. Thank you, Lisa. Ed says, great stream. Signed up. We'll be checking out your streams and videos. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
And Melvin says, yeah, Amber, I can't wait for the interview. Steven says, there's a lot of stuff you can encounter in Jacksonville. She could tell you. Let's see. Patty says, geez, we can't get away from this Stephen who pees himself either. Oh, Lord. I'm so sorry I said that out loud, Stephen. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. We will flush that. Oh. I'm in trouble. Thanks again. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. What's coming up next for you, Lefty?
Dinner.
Dinner and a trip to Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I look forward to watching the Keystone Clash up there and any live streams that you get to put out. Again, thank you. This is Susan for SLC Aquatics. #FishFamMom, touching lives one fish at a time. And my special guest, Lefty 3213A. Be blessed.